We started last Monday.
Okay.
The new rule states 42 days from your first game. You're allowed 30 practices and you got to have 12 days off. So we've had, yesterday was our 6th practice. So, well, I take it back, it was our 5th practice. So we've had 5 practices and we'll practice again tomorrow. So we're off to a good start. Obviously a lot of teaching, a lot of new guys on the roster. Obviously we have some returning guys, but mainly a lot of new faces. So it's been a very patient time here these last 5 days, but it's been very good energy and very good effort, very good focus for our guys.
Do you like the roster?
I do like our team. I like how we're coming along, shaping up. I think this is going to be an exciting team to watch this year. I think you got a very unselfish group. This group really seems to play together early on. That's the biggest thing you're trying to emphasize. And you guys will start accepting their roles here as we get closer to the season.
Coach,
Going
you lose a
through
few.
First season in the American, what did you learn, and did you recruit the things that you maybe needed to have and that kind of thing?
Good question. Yeah, we did. I think the veterans coming back that really learned what it was to compete night in, night out at a very high level against teams in this league. I think the guys that are coming in are obviously next level players. It's one of the most talented groups we've probably signed here coming in. The freshmen are going to come in, they're going to play. They're not going to sit and wait. They're good enough to play, and they'll be impactful. But anytime you bring new guys in, it always takes them a little time to adjust to the physicality and the speed of the game. But these guys have had a really good summer, and we're excited about those additions to our team.
Coach, couple key losses obviously from last year's team, bringing in a couple of nice freshmen like you just said. Having the early home stretch, is that going to help these guys?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, we set our schedule up, as you can see, a little bit for our young guys to grow up, and I think that gives us a chance to get used to playing together, get some games under our belt, get used to playing in front of a crowd, get used to playing for each other. There's some big holes, obviously, we lost from last year. Anytime you lose a guy like the year before, we lost Keith Clanton. We wondered who was going to step up and be that guy, and obviously Isaiah Sykes did that. You never replace a guy like him, but obviously you can do it by committee. There's a lot of guys that's gotten better on this team that were in this past year coming up to be veterans who can help us.
Coach, talking about getting used to the conference, what would you say y'all's goal is in conference play this year?
Yeah, well, your goal is always, everybody walks in, on media day, everybody's goal is to win the conference championship, and that's ultimately our goal, and that's why you play. It could happen. There's a lot of good teams in this league, obviously. We had 5 teams in the top 25 last year, and this year it was a little more of a younger teams in this league than there was last year. There were so many veterans, so many senior-oriented teams that made it very, very good. But I think to obviously get to the top in Memphis and UConn and SMU is probably the most talented veteran team that's returning. But I think our goal is to improve, get better, put ourselves in a situation for some type of postseason play.
Coach, you got Casey Wilson coming back. He's one of the guys that's been around the team. He's a senior. What do you expect from him going into the season?
Yeah, well, I expect from Casey, obviously leadership. He's a guy that's played a lot over the last 3 years, and he's the only veteran, like you mentioned. He's going to be very important. But I think you'll see some guys in Matt Williams, Daquan Walker, Stephon Blair's taking big steps, and obviously Dylan Correll, who's played very well here in the preseason, is going to have a chance to get some minutes as well. So we're going to rely on those juniors as well, as much as we are Casey.
Coach, talk to us about Taylor and Enriquez. Was that kind of a combo recruit, again, both of these guys player of the years last year, and being able to get those high-impact guys, and like you said, probably giving them a lot of playing time early on?
Absolutely. B.J. Taylor and Donnie both coming in of really highly recruited 2A player of the year and an 8A player of the year. And both those guys had great senior years, and being from this area, it means something to them to come here and play at UCF. They'll have a lot of fans and families sitting in the stands. That's something I love. But both those guys have been really good this summer and this fall. They're really trying to find their way where they fit in on this team, and they're going to bring great basketball experience, even though they're freshmen, because they have basketball IQ. So they really have a great feel how to play, and really enjoying coaching both those guys.
Coach, how can going through the league last year help you going into this season? Once again, you got a defending champion within the league.
Yeah, well, I think now we understand the importance of playing 40 minutes. We had plenty of games last year where we played very well against some of these teams, and probably had a 50-second to a bad minute. And it put us in a bad situation to lose. So I think that the guys that's been through it understand night in, night out, the small margin of error that you got to have, and how you got to bring it every day. And that's carried over from these guys that were here from last year in practice. You can see we talk about being an everyday guy, everyday competitor, and having a good focus and bringing energy and effort every day and attention to detail. There's such a small margin of error in this league.
Could a guy like B.J. Taylor, could he contend to perhaps start at a point guard position? You've got some guys coming back, nothing really well established. How is he looking early on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, B.J. kind of tweaked his shoulder a little early on. Yesterday was his first day of practice, but he's fine. We held him out till he got healthy. But all these guys have a chance to start. I really don't get caught up in starting. That really doesn't mean that you're an important player. Sometimes we start guys for various reasons, foul issues or matchups or whatever it may be. But we legitimately got 10 guys that will play. And who that'll be starting, I really don't know. It's open right now. There's no guaranteed spots. Casey Wilson obviously coming back probably has the head up on most people, but there's a lot of guys that could push him as well. But the good thing is these guys aren't caught up in that. They really like to play with each other and together, and that's the thing we've really stressed is our team.
What are some of the things that you noticed last year that you all needed to correct and improve on that you've been working on?
Yeah, well, I just think, last year we had some guys that could really play, that were veterans, that are experienced. We had 2 fifth-year guys, and Calvin and obviously Tristan Spurlock. One was a transfer from Oklahoma, one was Virginia. And then obviously you had Isaiah Sykes, who played a lot of minutes as a freshman all the way till now. So we had 3 really good high-level guys that could score and experienced, and those guys were the focal point of what we've done. And so now this year, losing those guys will be depending on our team. I don't know if we have one guy that's going to be like Isaiah Sykes. We got to do that by committee. And I think what I like about this team is I think we can be better defensively. And last year, we were #1 in the league in offensive rebounding. So we get our whole front court back, plus the addition of Shaheed Davis, who's 6'10" and very athletic, to go along with that. So I really like what we got coming back.
How different is it for you, for the first time in a long time, coming back with a lot of fresh faces?
Yeah, well, it is different. And you know what it's a new era. I mean, obviously this is my 5th year, but it is a new beginning because we're in a new league. This is pretty much a new team. So there's new challenges, and I think anytime you move 2 leagues, as we've seen across all these transitions with people moving the leagues who are very good teams, that they're trying to figure out how to fit in, to the conference. And so now coming in, we've been recruiting through this conference. We've had a year now under our belt to really sell and brand this program, and I'm excited with the kids we got, the ones we got coming, and where we're headed.
How has Justin McBride transformed himself just looking back a year ago to where he is now? I understand he's dropped a bunch of weight, in a lot better condition than he was last season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm proud of Justin. Obviously, you want more all the time. You see his talent and his upside, as I've seen when I recruited him. Unfortunately, he had an uncommon thing happen to him when he hurt his knee in June and was not able to condition or practice until the middle of January last year. So this has been like a freshman year for him. He has lost 30-plus pounds, and he's gotten himself in better shape, and he's stronger. And when you see him, you'll see that he's more toned up, and he's made big strides. So it's always a challenge anytime that you're trying to make that transition, and he's done a good job. And he'll continue to improve with that, and we're looking for big things from Justin.
Is he at the weight you'd like him to be, or is it still just continuing to be a work in progress with him getting in better shape?
It's still a work in progress. It's not going to happen in 1 year. I think as time goes on, he's learning to play with that, and he's learning to see that the more weight I lose, the more opportunity I'm going to have to play more minutes. So he's got to play hard. Our style play hasn't changed, even though he's a big guy up and down. He's running better, he's moving better, and our guys are gaining confidence and earning his respect with the way he's working each and every day.
Coach, you guys have some depth at guard, a lot of young guards coming in. How many guys do you expect to play on any given game, especially those first 2 exhibition games?
Well, from a guard standpoint, we'll play 5 guys every night. That won't change because we expect to go more up-tempo than what we've played in the past. I think we got a chance to really shoot the basketball better than this may be the best shooting team on paper that we've had since I've been here. We have a lot of guys who can really shoot the basketball. And we have front court that can rebound the ball. And I think it's all going to come down to defense and how we play together. I think that's going to be the key. But I like our depth. It's young, and what that means with young guys is they're good 1 game and 3 games. Sometimes they're trying to figure out how to adjust. So it's a process, but you know what? We're not a 1-year program. I think we got 1 senior on this team. We return everybody back after this year. We have A.J. Davis sitting out, and then we'll bring in 3 new kids, and maybe 4 next year. So we're excited about where we're going. This year's a big transition year for us, but I think that this team could do some good things.
One more question. with so many young players, especially those coming in, what's your biggest challenge, obstacle, whatever, to get them up to speed for this conference?
Sure. Well, just consistency. Anytime you have youth, you have inconsistency. We have kids that love to play, and that is a plus. Just knowing the level to compete at every night, night in, night out. The physicality, the speed, and the talent that they'll go against in this league is second to none. So you just don't know what to expect until you experience it. And the guys returning from last year understand that, and hopefully they can carry these young guys on and help them take another step.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.